Sciatica. You've got it, we got answers, and you're in the right place. I'm Coach Zach, a sports and medical massage therapist.
And I'm Chris, certified athletic trainer.
And together, first of all, what is sciatica? That term gets thrown around so much in today's fitness and mobility world. Doctors give that diagnosis like candy, but what does it actually mean? What is your sciatic nerve and why does it cause you so much trouble? True sciatica is a pinching off of your sciatic nerve, and it's almost always in one specific area in your butt. One muscle that causes this problem. Now, your sciatic nerve supplies your hamstrings, so it's in the back of the body. Doctors in today's medical landscape will actually start to call something anterior sciatica. So if you have pain going down the front of your leg, doctors will sometimes call that anterior sciatica, which is not even a correct medical term because your sciatic nerve only supplies the back muscles, your hamstrings, down the back of the body. So anterior sciatica doesn't even exist. Now, the muscle that more than likely is causing you this tingling, this nerve pain, this numbness down the back of the leg is in your butt, and it's called your piriformis. The reason why is your sciatic nerve travels right in between a bone and this muscle of your piriformis. So if this muscle is inflamed, if this muscle is tight, if this muscle has anything going on with it, it can clamp down on that sciatic nerve, cutting off the supply and creating that numbness, that tingling, that pain down the back of the leg. So to correct sciatica, true sciatica, it's actually not too complicated. You just want to relax the piriformis muscle. Now, have you come into contact with that in the athletes you work with? Do any of them have sciatica?
In my population, very rarely do we see sciatic pain. Very rarely, but occasionally.
Because Chris works more with the younger athletes, where sciatica definitely, in my practice, affects older people. There are so many causes that can create sciatica. One of the big ones is actually too much sitting. Now, we've talked about too much sitting on this channel countless times, and chronic sitting is sometimes called the new smoking in today's world. But the reason why that too much sitting can create the sciatica is because you're sitting directly on this muscle and directly where this muscle can impinge this nerve. So too much sitting creates too much compression, which can create this pinching off of this nerve. So now let's talk about how you can get out of this debilitating pain. How can you correct your sciatica? By relaxing and releasing the piriformis muscle. We're gonna do that in a couple of different ways. First, I'll have Chris grab that foam roller. A foam roller is a great tool that you can use to really get into this muscle. So you're gonna sit on it, but let's say he's gonna get it to his right side. I want him to lean towards the right, cross this ankle over that left thigh. But the key is to lean towards the side that he's treating. Now, with foam rollers, a lot of people make mistakes and they just roll back and forth. You don't want to be rolling back and forth. You want to roll till you find a tight spot. Once you find that tight spot, if you feel shooting down the back of the leg or numbness or tingling, you're right on it. You want to relax into that. You want to take deep breaths. An even better way that you can even relax and hold this for longer is maybe to come down to this forearm if it's right for you. Yeah. Yeah. Now, if you do want to bring some movement, actually you can bring some movement side to side. So instead of rolling back and forth, just bring your hips side to side. There you go. It's exposing the tissue, really getting into this piriformis muscle to release it because that's the main muscle that pinches off that sciatica. Sciatica can also be called in a different terminology as piriformis syndrome. They're very similar because of how the relationship between the muscle and the nerve is. Now, for a lot of times, maybe this foam roller might not be enough. That's when you can take a lacrosse ball, a tennis ball, and do the exact same thing. So let's say that this foam roller wasn't really hitting that spot. You can get way more targeted. This might be a little too intense for some of you, but it's the same concept. You cross, and then you cross that if you can. And deep breaths. Again, you just want to roll to the point where you can find those trigger points. Anything going down the back of the leg?
Oh, it's there, baby.
Yeah.
It's there, it's there.
When you know you're on it, you know you're on it. Deep breaths. I want you to hold this for like 30 seconds to a minute and just try to relax as much as you can. When this pain, when this sensation starts to subside, you're relaxing that trigger point. Overall, if you can relax it enough, that muscle will take the pressure off of the nerve. So those are two manual ways that you can relax that muscle. Now we'll get into the stretches. Now I really like to do the foam roller or the ball first and then get into the stretches because the tissues are primed. We'll start with a beginner one called the 90-90 position. So the leg you're stretching will be out in front in about 90 degrees, so come on into that. As you can see, 90 degrees in the front, that back leg is bent out, 90 degrees in the back. This is gonna take off a lot of load of the knee and the hips. So from here, what I want you to do is chest up nice and proud, take a breath in, and I want you to lean the middle of your chest right over the knee. And then deep breaths. The way you can relax into it is actually maybe come onto the forearms in front of you. Good. Do you feel that?
Oh yeah.
Deep breaths here. Remember, stretching is all about the breath. You get into the position, you breathe into it, giving the signal to the nervous system that it can let go. We're working with the nervous system, not just the muscles. Deep breaths, and as you can hold it, you can hold this for anywhere from 30 seconds to 3 minutes, right? This is a great stretch till you can just sink into it. Deep breaths, maybe getting a little bit deeper and deeper as it goes. So this is the 90-90 hip stretch. Slowly come out of it. The way you come out of a stretch is just as important as the stretch itself. Good. Now, if that's not enough, you can come into a full pigeon. If you've done yoga, a full pigeon is great. It might be a little bit too much on the knee for some of you. So, same concept. That front leg that you're stretching is gonna be in the same position. That back leg though, now is just gonna be straight out towards the back. Now again, if you feel sensation in this knee, it's too much, maybe go back to the 90-90. You can also put a block or a blanket under this hip. And same concept, take a deep breath in, and then exhale, sink down. Use your forearms as support so you can relax through the arms. Same concept, but if you feel it in the knee, get out of it. You do not want to feel this in the knee, you want to feel it in the hip, especially that piriformis, that glute area. Again, 30 seconds hold, you can go up to 2-3 minutes. Deep breaths, relaxing into it. If you're just holding tension, you're not telling your nervous system to let it go, so you want to relax and breathe. Now, those are great static stretches to help relax that muscle when you're not training. What about a dynamic stretch to do before you work out, before your leg day, before your glute day? Simple, go back into that 90-90. So 90 degrees in the front, 90 degrees in the back. You're just gonna do something called a windshield wiper with a lean. So from here, you're just gonna lift your knees, your hands can come behind you. So now your knees are pointing directly up, and then you go to the other side, and then you lean your chest over this, yeah, boom. And then you come back up, windshield wiper, and then lean. Back up, windshield wiper, and lean. When you're leaning and you're stretching, you just wanna hold this for 2-3 seconds, back up and switch. Good, so this is just something you can do before your workouts, before your activities, if you're dealing with the sciatica, to really get the muscle moving, get the joints moving so it can take off that load of the sciatic nerve. So, hopefully you got something out of this. If you're dealing with sciatica, that numbness, tingling, that sensation going down the back of the leg, piriformis is the muscle that you want to get into. Piriformis is the muscle you want to relax, is the muscle you want to treat. Strengthening the piriformis might actually cause more trouble down the road because that muscle can get more inflamed, can get more tight, and that will cause more pressure on that sciatic nerve. So you want to do these exercises to help get out of that sciatic pain. And if your doctor ever says something like, oh, you have pain in the front of the leg, you have anterior sciatica, that's not a real thing, maybe it's time to get a new doctor. I'm Coach Zach, here with Coach Chris. Hopefully this helps. We'll see you next time. Yeah.